This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
Hey Jen, now that you are driving for two,
Sure am.
I have a family hauler for us to review. What is this?
This is the new 2025 Nissan Armada, and it's the Pro-4X, the first time we're getting one of these.
So we have a 3-row off-roader with a locking diff that has been redesigned. So what do you think of this big bulbous nose?
Well, honestly, the headlights are one thing, but what I really like is this throwback to the old hard body days with these 3 slits up here, kind of like the old Pathfinders, and that I think really looks really good. We do have some recovery hooks pointing out, the orange recovery hooks, which I think looks pretty good. Big glossy black grille. I think it looks better than the previous gen for sure.
You know it's an off-roader because it's got red recovery hooks.
Well, yeah, otherwise how are you going to tell they're there?
Yes, of course. Now we're also rolling on some Geolander Yokohama all-terrain tires, which actually I like. I'm a big fan of all-terrain tires, and that's because they kind of cushion the ride.
Yeah, and these are 20-inch wheels. I like that the profile of the spokes don't stick out too much because that's not what you want when you're off-roading, but you can get 18-inch wheel options, which if you are planning on taking this off-road, that would definitely be the one to get.
So normally I'm not a big fan of refrigerator, no sorry, pearlescent white. But this kind of has a Stormtrooper look about it, and I do like over here this little red accent that lets everybody know you're in an Armada. I think that's kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think there's enough black going on for the two-tone that gives it some really good differentiation.
All right, let's look under the hood and see what's powering it. Of course, gone is the old V8 because everything today has to be turbocharged, and indeed this is turbocharged.
Yeah, we've got a 3.5 liter turbocharged V6, and she's pumping out 425 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, made it up to that 9-speed auto.
And this, of course, being the Pro-4X, is all-wheel drive, or is it 4-wheel drive? We'll let you guys decide. It's kind of confusing, but you know, this is a pretty good power plant. You know, the old, everybody loves V8s, the old V8 is gone, but the truth is, these turbos are more fuel efficient if you don't get into them too far, and are more powerful. In longevity, we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, I have taken this off-road out in Arizona, and I thought did fairly well.
Yeah. So let's hop in. But before we do that, I'm not going to make you get in the third row, but I'll get in the third row.
I appreciate that.
You want to go on that side? Because you know the Achilles heel of these is always the third row. So
the actual space, yeah.
Yeah. So the second row, I mean, it's got you know, nice sliding seat, which you're probably gonna have to do. So I'm gonna slide it about halfway. Oh, I mean, look, it's kind of short on headroom. It does have this giant sunroof. It does have, I believe, hold on, it's either 3 or 4 zone climate. Why don't you boot it up? Let's see if it's 3 or 4 zone. I'm curious. So yeah, it's 4. Nope, never mind. 3 zone climate control.
Still good.
Is this where you drive?
That's where I drive.
All right, I'm gonna give myself a little bit more room.
Yeah.
That's still too much. All right, so, oh, look at this. Air vents up here. How
Yeah,
nice
that's
is that?
nice.
You know, a little armrest there when the kiddos aren't in play. All right, now let me see if I can get in the back here. You're really gonna make me do this?
I'm
huh?
really sorry. Oh man.
Maybe leg first? Is this?
It's so it's not a tight fit.
Hold on, I can take my glasses off. Hope my mic won't come up. Okay, here we are. We are in the back.
Okay, now that you're back there,
Yeah, not huge amounts of leg room,
how's the head?
not huge amounts of headroom.
Not great. You do have an air vent right behind your head,
I know,
which is nice.
it's blowing into my left
Yeah.
ear. But you do have a USB-C port here. Oh, look at that. It reclines.
Oh, okay, well that's nice.
It still doesn't solve the headroom problem, but it's better. And now I've got the vent blowing in my face.
Yeah, well, it's better than not having a vent at all, if you ask me.
You want to open up the back and see how much room there is?
Yeah, let's check it out.
With me sitting all the way back.
Nice automatic tailgate here.
This is the other Achilles heel of these 3 rows, right? When you've got this 3rd row up, you don't have, I mean, it wouldn't be great for an airport run to pick up 6 of your best friends.
No, or even going on a family vacation with your whole family. You know, you got 3 rows to fit everything, but where do you put all your stuff?
Here we're going to show those buttons, but I'm going to show you, hopefully not my butt crack. Hold on, I have an idea here. This is no good, Jen. This is just no good. Well, it makes it worse. All right, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, figured it out. Sort of, kind of.
I'm so sorry I can't do this for you.
Oh, that's okay. You're going to be putting car seats and struggling with those pretty soon.
Oh, yes, indeed.
All right, I'm not doing that again. All right, so what do these buttons do?
So, luckily, these buttons on the top are actually going to raise and lower your rear suspension right from the back, which is really, really nice.
So if you need to get something like a dog into the back?
Yeah, you can lower it down just a little bit, just the rear though.
Just the rear, huh?
Yes.
Maybe it's got to be not running. I don't know. Let's try the other buttons. Let's see what these guys do.
So these guys are going to drop your
look
your
at that.
front seats, or the second row seats, and then your rear seats.
It is nice
And
that they're electric.
that's always a really, really nice thing to have. And then of course you can power up the third row seats as well.
Now that is a lot of room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
and
is a boat. Is there a full-size spare?
we do have a full-size spare, and that is always a huge plus to have. Especially if you're going to have anything that's geared towards off-roading. You can't just throw in a, tire repair kit and call it a day. That's not part of it. You got to have a full-size spare.
The one thing I'm not in love with is it's kind of like a little bit of an uphill slope.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to be sleeping in the back of this, which you could do, you're going to be sleeping, with your legs facing downhill, which is kind of weird.
That is a little bit weird.
Yeah, but
it's relatively flat, so that
Yeah.
is nice, but it does have a bit of a slant to it.
now, if you get the base one, it starts at around 60,000, and you could easily get above 80,000.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you how much this costs, or how much it starts at the end of this review.
All right.
All right, let's go for a ride. Here, you drive. I'll passenger. Cole, you jump in the back.
Oh, goodness.
Jen, this is your life, so just get used to it.
Okay.
You're gonna need those enormous, like, rear-facing child seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be doing
Well,
child seat
they'll
reviews.
fit. Well, I have one now, so we could do that with this guy.
So I love the fact that you have a built-in
Trailer brake
brake
controller.
yep.
And nicely placed.
Tows up to 8,500.
What I don't like are the push button gear
Yeah,
selectors.
I've never been a fan. Acura does that too.
I know it's a space saver, but God, it kills my soul just a little bit to have to push a button to put it in drive.
Yeah, it's just not cool. Let's put it that way.
No.
Now you also have different drive modes, which is nice.
Quite a few.
Yep. So it is auto. So you can have 4-wheel auto, and then of course you got 4 high, 4 low. Over here, you've got the locking rear diff. I've never been a fan of this piano black. It seems to collect dust.
Yeah, it shows up all the scratches, and
Yeah.
it's not the best. But we do have air suspension as well, and heated seats and ventilated seats, which are definitely on today.
And then of course heated steering wheel, which is definitely not on today. Now real volume knob, which is nice. Big padded steering wheel. I could probably open this up. Look at that. Got some light in.
And I like that we have actual physical buttons and gauges for the temperature controls. I hate when that's all embedded into the screen.
Hey Jen, we interrupt this driving review for a quick word from our sponsor, Grainger.
Grainger Extended Warranty, the leading online manufacturer-backed extended warranty dealer in the country.
That's right. If you guys want peace of mind and are worried about what happens when the factory warranty expires, get yourself a Grainger warranty which covers you after that. And what's the best thing about it?
Well, they replace it with OEM parts installed by OEM-trained techs.
Yep, we return now to our regular scheduled program. The interior of this thing is super sweet.
It is. I like all of the soft press surfaces, the orange stitching. One of the things I really like that Nissan does is they give these little toggle switches to be able to toggle if you're moving through the infotainment, or you can press this button and then now direct through your cluster. So it makes it really easy to understand which side you're actually moving through, and you got a little dial right here to kind of move through the screens. I do like that a lot.
And of course this competes with other 3-row big ass SUVs, like of course the Tahoe, the Suburban, the Yukon,
Sequoia,
the Grand Wagoneer, or the regular Wagoneer, right? And Well, we can tell you the price. A lot of those are a little bit more expensive than this. So Nissan has always been kind of the, I would say, value leader. Is that fair?
I would say that's fair to say.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's make a left here, and then once you get behind this guy and the cones, let's give it a little bit of gas and see just how...
Give it some juice?
Yeah, see how quick these twin turbos spool up and how quickly this thing can scoot down the road.
Yeah.
Also a huge cavernous center console here. I was looking for a refrigerator. This does not have a refrigerator.
Oh, we do have a little trash can. All right, hold on to your pantaloons.
We do have a little... Right, stop. Just stop. Yeah, bring it to a stop. There you go. And go for it. I've got my head back. I'm ready.
Ready for the G's?
Yeah. Whoa! It's not bad.
No,
it scoots
for a giant hippo, you know.
Yeah.
And the feeling is pretty floaty, you know, but it's weighty. It feels good. It feels like you're in a luxury 3-row SUV.
So, as like I said, a mother that's driving for two, are you starting to vibe with this? Is this something that you would want, or is this just, you know, too big and too cumbersome and too everything?
It is big. You know, I have been wanting a 3-row car with something with big meaty tires and something that has a lot of creature comforts like, you know, vented seats and heated steering wheel. But this is a very big gal.
Yeah, she drives big.
She does drive big.
Yeah.
This is another another Gloria from the hippo from Madagascar. This is a big gal.
Yeah, Nathan used to call the old one the Happy Hippo. It kind of had that look about it, you know, the little ears. Yeah. So it definitely drives big, but you know, a lot of people don't like the stigma of a minivan, even though probably most of us should be driving them. And of course, instead of minivans, people have gone with these 3-row SUVs because they're more manly.
Well, I'm one of those people. So, I mean, I can't complain them.
All right, well, let me tell you how much this bad boy costs. It starts at, ready? $75,000, depending on how you spec it out. And I'm sure it goes up from there, which, you know, is a lot of money. But it's a lot of Happy Hippo.
You got a lot here, and like we said before, it does come in under a lot of its competitors.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for anything that's off-roady, and not even if you're going to go off-road. But let's face it, like in the snow, I think this thing would do well.
Yeah.
And certainly, if you're going to go, you know, tow something, 8,500 pounds is a boatload, literally. And the ride is actually pretty cushy. So, in terms of value, in terms of, you know, Stormtrooper styling, I like it.
I think it's pretty good. And since I did get the chance to drive this off-road, I know that it did do pretty well, and I was pretty happy with it.
Hey, so when your daughter is born, when she's old enough, are you going to tell her all the cars that she's ridden in?
Oh yeah, technically you've gone off-roading here, you've, you know, raced at AMP and, you know, Bridgestone Winter Driving School. She's done a lot already.
There's going to be one really good reviewer.
She's going to be a little reviewer for sure.
Yeah. So when she's old enough, get her a pink Jeep. Let's start her down that road.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, Jen. Thank you for giving me the mom perspective. As always, head on over to alltfl.com, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.